mentioned in the previous show, a lot of promise on entry, but late round has fallen apart. Unfortunately for us this week, we haven't actually seen them at full strength with the whole substitute situation going on. So I think it would be unfair to assess them as to how they may end up later on in the stage. But I think it's probably fair to say that a top 6 is very much on the cards. Pushing top 4 though, again, hard to assess. I think it's a possibility, especially if they show promise tonight, even again with the sub in play, then maybe they can begin to enter that conversation. But I don't think they're a massive threat here in Asia, but certainly some names that have potential going forward into the distant future, I think.
Yeah, so we'll keep our eye on Eclipse. It is a shame Azuki's not playing today. Well, apparently it was internet issues or something like that. Due to rival Esports Azuki having internet issues, they will be using Eclipse for this match. Yeah, okay, that's the line that we got from the admin. Damn, internet issues, man. Like, I honestly think, as much as I am a simp for NOCAP, I would probably have picked Rival if it was their full five lineup. Because they're going back to a map that they have played NOCAP on recently, that NOCAP have lost on recently, and Rival lost on it last time. It's actually a very similar story to what we had with Elevate and NOCAP yesterday. Oh, sorry, no, it was Fury's match. Who did Fury play? Oh, sorry, Bleed Fury. The Bleed Fury game. Julio, Bleed's coach, said last time we played them on Clubhouse, they beat us, so we actually targeted this map. We knew we were going here. They wanted to play us on the other map that we beat them on. They wanted to work on that. And I think that Rival are likely taking the same mentality into this game. They're looking to target a map that NOCAP's beat them on before. And I think maybe even with the substitute, they will have more than what meets the eye.
Yeah, I mean, I am all for it if Rival are able to show up here. They do start defense. They might be able to find some comfort in that regard. They can stick with a comfort role. Again, he did have some actual standout moments last night, a couple of multi-kills across a few rounds. And when he wasn't necessarily forced to be the player to make first move or to show initiation, and he could instead play a more comfortable backline position, that's where I think he actually was able to thrive quite well as more of an anchor and supportive role. So we'll see how much of an impact it does have in this matchup. Quickly going over the bans, we do see a single shield off the board. Blitz will make it through. And a visual target ban as well there from Rival onto NOCAP, who will likely have wanted to exploit that defensively, but will no longer be available. On the topic of NOCAP, they are bringing the Kali for this opening round for the basement ram as well for easy dirt through front door. See how they look to combine that detour.
Last time I saw a Thai team bring Kali in Asia League, I was not happy, guys. Fury tried forcing it time and time again against Bleed yesterday, and it looked very pitiful. Thankfully, this is not Clubhouse, and it's not being used to clear rafters. Instead, it's just getting rid of some mute jammers and making a nice, easy breach here on Snowmobile.
Yeah, not too many early issues here for NOCAP, and that's now perceived as pressure for the remainder of the round. They could elect to post up, maybe that Kali outside, but they need her services elsewhere. Scarlet over towards Games at the moment. Quite an aggressive position to hold. May elect to play for his life through backstore. Can sometimes be a difficult position to escape from though.
You know what I just realized? So the Kali, obviously similar to the Ashe, the gadget will drill through glass and crack the mirror windows. So perhaps that's part of the reason why they've gone for it here. Scatman's also able to find a big pick, opening the equation for NOCAP against the team that tends to win the opening picks, Rival. So that's a bit of a poor start from the defense.
Rome's still being employed though. The second floor occupied by Eclipse. Dining room also does have a presence. So NOCAP do have to be disciplined here. I don't think they've fully cleared the map. And so that flank threat later on into the piece is something they need to be mindful of. Rival, of course, on the flip side, will need to ensure that they time these flanks correctly. And don't allow the side itself to be too overwhelmed. Eclipse really is going to have to be the star player for Rival in this round.
Ironic when your substituting coach has got to be the star player. Scarlet's found one. He's the only player left on site. NOCAP can 4v1 this if they get going before Eclipse gets back. They know where Eclipse is, but a bit of a poor cover there from DCH. He had a late information call from his teammate. He didn't know which angle to watch. Vaulting over straight into a Claymore. Eclipse goes down, all up to Scarlet. Good coverage from Onigiri. What a big round from Onigiri, by the way. 1 with the Claymore, I believe 2 with the rifle. Solid work from the Ram. I believe he was on. And that's the round done and dusted.
Yeah, that's the problem when you're versing NOCAP, right? If it's not Mr. Punch having a good day, it's more than likely going to be, you know, the likes of an Onigiri, even Scatman, potentially as well. Onigiri is probably only going to continue to increase in power over the course of the stage, considering that he was quite literally over in Alaska and didn't touch the game for months. So his power has decreased over that period of time, and as he gets more comfortable in the comp environment once more and finds his feet again, he's such a dangerous threat. So
it was very humbling on Twitter yesterday, because I saw him tweet after the game that they lost against Elevate. He did the classic thing, you know, it's all my fault, I played terribly. Which, you know, players love to do that. I respect the humility. Obviously, you've got to be humble for the sake of improving. If you're not humble, you'll never improve. But once you're in the game, you've got to kind of believe that you're the best player ever to touch it in order to have the confidence to actually commit. That's just the funny double-edged sword of confidence, right? It can be a blessing and a curse. But overall, I think NOCAP will be pretty happy. They've won their first attacking round, and out of 5 tries yesterday against Elevate, they only won a single attack. So they're already doing as well as they did yesterday. And they're just 1 round in.
Well, we talked about the Carly in the previous round. Probably more than likely brought to help counter against the Mirror. Mirror hasn't been selected though here for the second round, but the pick will persist. I'm very intrigued to see what kind of impact the Carly may have in this round. Now, Chalet as a map where cutting off rotations can be quite an effective tool for the attack, and maybe doing it from range with Carly could be the play. As you see those shots rain out through Piano. That does actually allow Onigiri to get all this space.
Pretty sure that, no, there's no defender? Yeah, okay. Well, there might have been still a defender up there, but no, he has pushed forward, taken all this control incredibly quickly. The Ash. Great operator for it. Classic Ash ACOG R4C entry. People are loving the return of it. 4 roamers holding onto this position, and what positions they've got. Heber barriers. I believe there was deployable shield. No deployable shield, but observation blockers to protect against the droning. Still very possible that Rival could take a few bodies with them here.
Yeah, we'll see what the YouTube clear is like for NOCAP onto these keeper barriers, which are offering good protection side of library. They need to be mindful though that they don't overpeak into the Kali. They will more than likely win out these fights. Midway point of the round now clipped. Round taken by Onigiri. Longlow looked flash there, I think, so while Synced gets the second onto Eclipse, and good for 3.
Onigiri!
Easy as that for Onigiri, who farms on the entry.
Throws back, but he does get traded. So Rival have found something. 2v3 is very winnable, but overpeaking, DCH cuts him. 1v3 for all mate Jackie Wu. He sees the shadow. That's the danger of playing that position with the Kali, but Scatman gets him on the repeat. Lovely work there from NOCAP as a whole. Textbook push. Excellent entries from Onigiri. A 3-piece jumping in the display window. And then an easy lock-up from the rest of the squad. NOCAP are taking no prisoners.
Yeah, I really like that from NOCAP, not getting stalled out. They go for... I guess in some respects it is a bit of a brute force push with the vault through, but it was synced with util and players in the correct positions to help try and offer an additional layer of pressure, and then Onigiri having the confidence and mechanics skill to land those shots, and he did it in such a way in his positioning and his movement that it was then difficult for Rival to fire back, to quickly comm that and then respond to the comms in time, etc., which allowed that 3-piece to take place. So clean work from Onigiri. It's quite clear at this point in time as we enter the prep phase for round 3, already on 6 kills, that probably in for a good evening. And so for Rival, that could be a little bit disheartening, a little bit scary, but also provides an opportunity, I think, for them to flick a switch here and find a way to try and shut him down.
I can't really point to many things wrong that Rival are doing specifically. It's not like, oh no, they are making some crucial error with their macro strategy, or we're seeing huge blunders in the individual players. They just look like they can't keep pace with NOCAP.
Oh, that's a good bait from Songot. Perfect redirect.
Kali alone will not defeat a juggling bandit. NOCAP have now got to reassess the situation. At least they have a little bit of hard breach redundancy with the Hibana, but one exothermic getting taken down so early is certainly not great. What is going on here, Onigiri? You haven't cleared the top floor. Why are you expecting to be able to jump in? There must have been some form of information for Onigiri, like why on earth would you jump in without it?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a missed bomb or what took place there, but maybe exuding a bit of overconfidence there. Yeah, it has worked for Onigiri in the last 2 rounds. Entering through windows, looking to take space, but that time it was occupied. And a good shutdown from Rival, who are still committing to the roam. Eclipse off-site, in office. He's done well to stay alive on these roam positions, however the timing on the flank back towards site previously was not ideal. So we'll see how he goes this time around. Not particularly confident in NOCAP's ability to clear though. I don't think they have a read on this.
Well, at least there has been some progress made, and finally the breach can be opened as the Vert has enabled it. Really classic old way to open that up and counter the bandit juggle. Are there still roamers? I can't quite tell.
Yeah, Eclipse,
here we
Scarlet.
go.
Bomb located by attackers.
And NOCAP have no idea that he's here, so this is a really golden opportunity for him to either watch the hatch or blank and go main.
Oh. The Vert, though, is doing its work. Good kill. So winnable here for NOCAP, despite those flankers still being at large.
Eclipse needs to
Scarlet's,
move
yeah, I mean, this is on Eclipse, right? Like, Scarlet's not really roaming. He's just in blue. Jackie Woo's a key player on site. He's been spotted. Scarlet taken down. Mr. Punch living up to the stats. It's up to Eclipse now, but he's way too late, and that makes Mr. Punch in position to ace up. Good kill from Jackie Woo, bit of damage on a Mr. Punch. Scatman tries to lock him down, and he does. No ace for Mr. Punch, but not necessary. NOCAP, despite struggling a little bit on that roam clear, seemed to lock it in at the end.
Yeah, Eclipse there, unfortunately, probably should have taken that window of opportunity that he had in the 20-30 seconds prior to his death to maybe start pressuring Mezzanine. It seemed that he was hard dedicated to watching the hatch drop over towards Dining, which may be difficult to fault him. I don't really know if the other 2 members of the defense were in positions to maybe relay that wasn't really going to be a playmaking opportunity. But in the meantime, as he sat in office, you could see the assault down below in through side was very difficult for the rest of that defensive unit to sustain that pressure. So it's 3 rounds now for NOCAP. Rival still looking for success here defensively. No one's really stepping up to the mark for them at the moment. And even in a round where Onigiri haphazardly jumped into the map without a proper clear and immediately died, NOCAP's still able to recover that round.
I find it really interesting looking at NOCAP's operator lineup round after round. It's barely changing. Every single time we see Mark on the Thermite, every single time Scatman on the Kali, Onigiri on the Ash. It's such a contrast to yesterday. Mr. Punch played a different operator all 5 attack rounds. Onigiri jumped around between his entry options, between Jackal, Ash, Dockerby, Buck. And we saw Scatman never once play the Kali. It was always either Twitch or Brava. And it just goes to show that NOCAP have a lot of depth and a lot of breadth in the way that they play Chalet. This is a completely different NOCAP to what we saw against Elevate yesterday. The way that they are playing this map is based on the way that Rival are playing it.
Oh, Mr. Punch falls, so again, Rival back-to-back rounds now where the entry is successful. Early on into the piece. See if they're able to convert the round. I think that was by Onigiri through the wall, but not entirely sure.
Yeah, it was. He's downed as well. I don't know it yet. Could eventually finish him off nice and easy. Ooh, is that a re-aggress in display, potentially? There's a good read, though, from Onigiri. Like, you can tell he's always watching for these re-aggressions. That C4 was almost perfectly timed. Mark is now low HP. He is that thermite as well, so he needs to stay alive for as long as possible, as the defense is really looking to hold on to this top floor for as long as possible. I believe every single player except for Scarlet is holding on to Office and Master.
We'll focus then on main breach from NOCAP. Exothermic stalled out by the Zoto canister from Tubarao. And so Jackie Wu will be able to waste a large portion of the remainder of the round if he is to stay above and contest that control, but he gets slapped down by DCH. Clean headshot. Mark survives critically on the hard breach, 13 HP. It allows the bottom wall to get opened up with the Tubarao off the board. And that was a significant moment in the round.
Yeah, I mean, Mark dies there. Very different situation for the end of the round. No more hard breach. Mark was already low HP. He's so lucky that that landed as a hipfire headshot through the floorboards. And with that as well, Scarlet being revealed. He's fallen off. Onigiri, very nice shot onto Eclipse. Onigiri is on fire today. Big round from him. Again, NOCAP. 4 versus 1, all up to Scarlet. They know where he was. They know where he is now. Trying to push through the smoke. That's not going to work out. Surely not. They go for the knife. DCH locks it in. They're having fun with it, NOCAP. And they're looking completely untouchable here on Chalet. Rival cannot get a look in.
Yeah, they look really locked in here on attack. Even despite having some early woes on entry, they're able to fight back, and that was kind of the storyline heading into this match. It is likely to be a strength of Rival, the early round portion, but then, as has often been the case, Onigiri or somebody else stepping up for the mid to late round, finding a multi, turning the tide. There was also that key moment over towards the fireplace breach into dining. DCH hitting a pretty miraculous headshot through the beams onto the Tubarao.
Yeah, what would have happened if he'd lost that fight? Like, if Mr. Punch dies to Jackie Wu there, how do you reckon the round pans out?
Yeah, I mean, if that fight goes the other way, Mark dies, Tubarao still alive.
The main wall wasn't breached as well.
Yeah, it would have been really tough. Like, that was the biggest moment in that round for sure.
And let's be honest, like, yeah, Mark played that well, but there was a lot of RNG involved in that. That was pretty much a hip fire. Like, he was still scoping in. It was through the bars as well. Jackie Wu actually landed one shot onto him. And Mark was already low HP, I think under 50, because of that early round C4 on the balcony. But, yeah, he still somehow only took 30 damage, so I think Jackie Wu must have shot him in the foot or something with that DMR. Jackie Wu is kicking himself for that one.
Yeah, I wonder how Rival are feeling at the moment. Again, with the compromised roster over this play day, the previous play day. It does put an asterisk on their record. I don't think, again, it will fully take them out of contention, even a demoralizing loss here for a top 6 finish. But it does keep the fight alive, really, for the 2 South Asia teams in 7th and 8th currently. They'll face off tonight. Winner of that, then more than likely to be the one flying the flag for that sub-region. And that could be a bit of a 2-horse race for 6th, potentially. I don't know who you would necessarily throw in the discussion for 5th in that instance. Maybe Direwolves as well, I suppose. But
yeah, I don't know. It's hard to actually say what to expect differently from Stage 1. Because the Stage 1 standings, Bleed, so this is the round robin exclusively before we went to playoffs. Bleed first, Fury second, Elevate third, and then Jalita, so NOCAP 4th, Direwolves 5th, Knock Knock 6th, Hasib 7th, Daystar 8th. The bottom 3 were all neck and neck with each other, and in fact only 1 point apart. Funnily enough, Direwolves was on 12 points in 5th, Knock Knock in 4 points in 6th. That just goes to show how much of a 5-3 split the league was in Stage 1. And I have a feeling we're likely to be in a similar position again. Of course, a lot of that does get dependent on the Knock Knock Hasib situation. Because in Stage 1, the thing that really rocked the boat was that we had this kind of little rock, paper, scissors game going on between Knock Knock, Hasib, and Daystar, where each one beat one of them and then lost to the other one in this little love triangle. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see something kind of similar with Rival, Hasib, and Knock Knock. But definitely the onus is on Hasib to break away from that, as they have already looked pretty solid, and I think that they could certainly upset Knock Knock today.
5 seconds left.
Oh, we're back into the action then, so apologies for the pause.
Apology
Round 5. I wasn't apologizing to you, James. I was apologizing
I felt
to our
like you were.
lovely viewers.
I felt like you were apologizing.
Oh, I'm sorry to you as well.
Thank you.
I don't know what I'm sorry for, so it doesn't feel very genuine, but...
You have a lot to be sorry for.
Okay, well, we can discuss this off stream. Round 5, though. Really critical round here for Rival to be able to breathe some life potentially back into the match. Onigiri, though, looking threatening,
Dang.
looking dangerous. Just
so
nobody
good.
able to shut him down.
Yeah, he's back, baby. He's so back. Is he
Jackie
gonna win
move.
this? Never mind. How does Onigiri also like be that much of a bot when getting shot at? Like, no offense, he did.
It's
He
the
just kept
Alaska
on
game
reloading. Yeah. Oh well. At least Jackie Wu did lock that one in because it did look sketch for a second. 4v4. And I've finished sucking up to Onigiri. He's down. He's out for the rest of the round. NOCAP have proven that they can definitely win rounds without him, though, because he did just randomly jump in library and die a couple of rounds ago, and NOCAP looked fine afterwards. Mr. Punch is, of course, the big guy to look at on NOCAP at the moment. He's been unreal.
Ooh,
there's a
Scarlet
down.
Falls. Yeah, it's the same triangle set up above here from the defense. One top library, one in library, one mez. Last time, it was Onigiri from this window position to jump through and break that cross. Shield's still standing mezzanine though, so Eclipse in a good position. Vision as well. Inside of library. Another difficult position to clear unless DCH invests into the Capital utility. Nakabudo also falls. Scarlet confirmed. There is a sniper running in through Dining Hall.
I didn't realize Scatman got picked up by FaZe. What year is it? This is some 2012 FaZe no-scope clips there from Scatman. He does get traded back. 2v3, 2v2. And no trade there from Mark. He was a little bit slow on it. Mr. Punch dropping the ball there. Giving that advantage away. This is a really nice job, though, from the Incendiary. Thankfully, for Eclipse, he gets saved by his Kiba barrier. DCH, though, in a solid position now, having removed that Kiba barrier. It's up to him and Mark to finish this one off. And Eclipse is the only player with any semblance of decent HP. Hyunjin is a hair's breadth from death. And have a look at this from Eclipse. He's taking the gamble. His teammate's making a ruckus, and he's gone for the flank upstairs. The super sub comes up big, but now he has to clutch up. DCH knows exactly where he is.
15 seconds to go.
Must be nerves of steel from Eclipse now. DCH hunting for it. He knows where the diffuser is. He baits him out for a second. I think he's got the information. He needs to go for the kill, surely. Dancing around. DCH gets the flick. And NOCAP are still unbroken.
Yeah, certainly the messiest round we've seen from NOCAP thus far. And unfortunately, that sub-diff from Rival again being highlighted in that round. Eclipse just panicking a little bit there in the late round. Really no fault of his own again. He is substituting in, but a round where typically we're 15 seconds on the clock, you have high ground advantage, diffuser down, presumably maybe some info as well. A more experienced player should be having a clear advantage in that 1 versus 1. So a little bit unfortunate again for Rival. They didn't help themselves in the early round by allowing Onigiri to win that opening fight, nor did they help themselves again with Harley push through Dining Hall, which was certainly unexpected. At this point in time here, about 18 seconds left, DCH forced up above, and then with 4 seconds remaining on the clock, wins out that fight. And with it, a 5-0 lead on the attack. It's going to be very difficult for Rival to bring this match back now.
This is on track to be NOCAP's best game this season and Rival's worst game. Rival have actually performed pretty decently, even against top echelon competition. They got 4 rounds off of Elevate in their opening game, which is funnily enough the same amount that Elevate got against, NOCAP got against Elevate yesterday on this very map. Now NOCAP have won 5 out of 5 attacks instead of 1 out of 5 like they did yesterday. They're looking like a completely different beast. Onigiri is back on it. And Rival look completely shattered.
It's the Onigiri entry show again here for round 6. being droned ahead by Mark currently, but gets his head taken off. Jackie Rouge sharp behind the keeper barrier. Elsewhere, DCH did find a kill for himself, so that capital utility will desist. Although across the board, trading out Onigiri for a castle of Eclipse, the substitute coach, I'd say that's probably a decent win for Rival, and they can look to play off that.
Yeah. Onigiri is looking very hungry. It would have been his 10th kill too. Maybe he's just really gunning for the double digits. I like to see the confidence from him. I like to see the confidence from NOCAP. It's something that they have certainly lacked in the past. They were very slow against Elevate today, and they're much more pacey and brave in their match today, which is at least something. Now, it looks like the roam really has retreated. There's still some players residing on the top floor, but the ones that were contesting earlier have all dropped down to the basement and fallen back towards that side.
Yeah, NOCAP eventually are going to want to transition some of this control up above. You can see office wall still standing, so too is the dining wall down below. Mark this time around shouldn't have too many issues opening the top wall. No tube around in play, no mute jammer to be cleared, or at least if there was, it's already dealt with. The wall opened up, the bottom will soon follow. And this is really where Scatman can look to get himself into the game as well. With Carly with that long line of sight.
Oh!
Through lobby could be large, but so too could that Nitro Cell. Scarlet goes big, and that ensures that this bottom wall is not opened up, provided DCH doesn't have secondary hard breach. I don't think he did. But either way, big win for Rival. There's still ways left though, so maybe NOCAP can brute force 3v3.
Yeah, that was a way over peak. And NOCAP know their win condition now relies on speed. So they go for the quick plan.
Oh no!
No, Jin, you're so close! So damn close! But not close enough. 2v3 in the post now. But NOCAP are mowing them up. Songla and Jin were not able to deny that plan, and now they must pick up the pieces on a flank. And I think there's information here. Good push from Mr. Punch. Songla on a big flank. Mr. Punch snipes him down with the SMG-12. NOCAP, 6 rounds of attack straight, are demolishing Rival.
I expected a pretty comprehensive win from NOCAP this evening, but certainly not a strong possibility of a 7-0 now transitioning to defense. This has been a dominant performance, and even in some of these instances where Rival are finding pretty good win cons, like that last round, right, denying breach, it's amazing how quickly that unraveled with the overpeak and then the flood sight. Even the plant denial through the smoke drawing outlines, that didn't land. It just really spiraled out of control there for Rival.
Defenders, protect your bombs from
And NOCAP
attackers.
capitalizing on these errors. 6 rounds, so a perfect half. And we'll see if they can put the cherry on top of the 7.
Ready for company.
We've seen a 7-0 yet. I don't think we've seen a 7-0 yet this stage.
Nah, the best we've seen was a 7-1, the very first game. For
Yeah,
this
Fury
stage
Direwolves.
with Fury Direwolves, yeah.
I'm trying to remember last stage, because I remember one 7-0. We had more than one? We had Fury 7-0 Elevate, we had Elevate 7-0 Hasib, we had Bleed 7-0 Daystar, apparently, so we had 3 last stage. And I would be surprised if it's not a 7-0 here. Rival, sadly, are looking pretty defeated. NOCAP have really found themselves. And that round was so telling, guys, because as you said, I mean, they should have lost it. As soon as that Thermite's dead, that should have been GG. An overpeak from Scarlet, and then NOCAP just having the wherewithal to know this is our moment. The way we win this round is we go and we go right now. And they did. Really just goes to show that even if things are not going to plan, NOCAP, they can salvage rounds. And if anything, that's more important.
Yeah, they've had quite a few of those in this matchup. Couple where maybe Onigiri's, struggled on an entry or been immediately traded, or whatever the case may be. They take any small advantage or opportunity that may have created and then really exploited that, which has been good to see. Round 7, and we actually see some blitz. We didn't see it at all from NOCAP in the first half, which was a little bit surprising with how powerful he is at the moment.
Yeah, but have you heard of Carly? Because this team apparently loves him.
I've seen more Carly in the last 2 nights of Asian Siege than I would otherwise like to see, but yeah, 2 years maybe. Yeah.
I will say Scatman was farming with the Carly this time around. There's no way that nade catches the BPC. That catch the BPC? Damn, that was a nice up.
Yeah, looking to apply pressure over towards Mez. Pledge drones in play from Songler. Seeing if there's any util that he's able to capture for his team. Smokes to go out here to cover that Mez cross. Maybe Eclipse is going to look for a dash across to the top of Library Stairs, try and pressure that position. Shield's still standing though. Scarlet. Inside.
Does find his first, looking for more, but the trade comes through. He's watching the wrong angle. The rest of the push is still at large. The blitz is teetering around on the top floor. Mark coming up for a flank though. Does keep him at bay for a brief moment. He's got to worry about the player behind him as well. Very brave from Mark, but the flash is not close enough. This is very winnable now for the defense. Still, that blitz is making things awkward, making things difficult. Control up above in the hands of Rival puts some serious pressure on these anchor players. We need some hero moments from NOCAP to cap off this 7-0.
Yeah, I mean, they have good power positions. 30 seconds, though. The blitz really should be the big difference maker in this round in flushing out these players, or at least getting a read so that the rest of Rival can clean up.
Rival time's ticking away. Every second that goes by is another chance for NOCAP to quickly put an end to this. There's so much indecision. There's so much uncertainty. Where do Rival commit? They need to make a move. 7 seconds left and ticking away. Mr. Punch has found something. Big double, but Jackie Wu comes back for the clutch. Sorely needed. Finally, Rival have their first round on the board.
Yeah, there was just that period of 10 to 15 seconds where I think you described it well. The indecision from Rival was quite evident in their body language. A couple of re-rotations around, they finally then committed to a front push through lobby, which allowed Mark to line up the double, but eventually was traded out and Rival win the round. Jackie Wu to the hard right, flicks in time. Some good awareness from him, a player with a lot of experience.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
Hasn't been on the receiving end of too many beatdowns from memory, but yeah, we'll see how much more fight him and the rest of the team have in this one.
Well, if all the rounds are going to be as close as that goes, Rival still need to do quite a bit of convincing. I mean, that round was anything but. It's just a skirmish in the mid-rounds. Yeah, I mean, nice to win an opening pick here or there. Your stat that Rival are the best opening kill team in the league hasn't really been exemplified today. They are just barely ahead in opening picks, 4-3 so far. Certainly not the 70% that we were expecting.
So the double down onto the blitz then for round 8. We did see NOCAP actually have a couple of issues dealing with the blitz, even despite having at least a momentary crossfire up above in the previous round. Just such is the nature of dealing with the blitz at the moment. Floor is in play, so Rotero is available for Songler to try and clear some utility. However, the mute jammers are making that difficult. So too is the regular droning from bottom west main.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
So good work from Mark.
Yeah, got a little bit greedy there with that Rotero. He knew that the mute was nearby, but he kept wanting to go through that barbed wire. If he'd just gone and taken it out as soon as he entered it, then he wouldn't have got jammed. He would have at least cleared some util. But at least the Rotero has now cleared up the barb on west main stairs. DCH knows he's got a friendly, familiar face outside his window. And his keeper barrier has now been taken out as well. He's got to keenly watch. Hinchin could peek at any moment.
Yeah, DMR's very effective against keeper barriers and being able to chip away at them and clear. DCH using them to try and hold Bartham in a more aggressive fashion and is typical. Halfway point of the round then. And what round does Rival really have to show for it? As you can see, nearly every single player still outside. Jackie Wu has lurked into the basement. So they'll be looking to transition some control in towards the map. Good pinch. DCH wins the fight. Mr. Punch falls to the blitz. But DCH was actually good for 2 and survives on 1 HP. So a big multi from him. Gets another. And it's now all up to Eclipse.
Yep, round is over, I'm afraid. Game seems to be done. Onigiri comes and shoots the feet to win the game for NOCAP. Valiant attempt from Rival, and they did fend off a 7-0 defeat, but this is a bit of a stain on their record so far. A massive win, though, for NOCAP. Redemption, after getting smashed on Chalet by Elevate yesterday, they come back and they look like a much better team.
Yeah, absolutely. Able to shift up their game plan. Couple of key players stepping up, Rob, and honestly, they didn't really put too much of a foot wrong in this match.
Did you just say my name, Michael? I didn't actually.
I did. I said
What?
Rob. Do you prefer Rob or Manic?
Oh my goodness.
Is Rob okay?
You can. You know what?
Is Roberts all right? Can we do Roberts?
Look,
No,
Manic, Rob, Robert. You know what, guys? You can just call me anytime. But what a game that was from the boys at NOCAP. That's kind of the performance that we need to be seeing from them. Bit unfortunate. No, unfortunate is definitely not the right word there, Dev. Disappointing from Rival. Obviously, there is a big asterisk next to this, which is back-to-back nights they've had issues where they've had to have the coach step in, and obviously anytime you even have a sub in, let alone your coach play, everything's going to be so much harder to connect, and that's what it felt like tonight. It felt like there was just a disconnection between their defense, and they just got run over.
Yeah, defense is where the biggest red flags are. Attack, maybe they could cook something. They liked experimenting with the blitz. Attack, it's also much harder to slot in a sub too, because usually the pushes are quite complicated, and it really does rely on more star potential. But yeah, defense was just really rough. Even the rounds where they looked like they had a few good moments, NOCAP were able to spin around. So I don't want to go too hard in on Rival. Of course, the roster problems that they've had with players not being able to connect has been a large factor in their losses, but I don't think you can hide behind that as an excuse. And obviously, the biggest asterisk is, Azuki was insane yesterday, got 20 kills. He's not here today. They get 7-1. Direct correlation, right? I think the last thing that they would want is to be seen as a team that needs Azuki in order to perform. But unfortunately, that is the information that we have received so far. So I would love to see them disprove that. If possible, I'd love to see some of these other players step up. And to be fair, I don't think Eclipse was particularly bad. I think Eclipse has done a really good job subbing in this week and wasn't even the lowest rated player on the team for that game. So this really should be about NOCAP doing great and looking like perhaps a real solid competitor. Every day we're like, is NOCAP a top 4 team? We're not really sure. Probably, I think. Probably.
Look, I think Rival Esports and NOCAP have something in common. Rival need the big boy Azuki to step up, and well, it's Onigiri on the side of NOCAP. Let's welcome him in for the interview as well. Always a very happy time to see you, Onigiri. Generally I like to go quite broad on my question and just ask how you felt, but let's skip that one for tonight because there was something that was happening on your attack. Was your W key stuck by any chance?
No. So first off, the reason that I changed my playstyle because yesterday we really had a bad map control, and that's supposed to be my role that take the map control and everything. So we had a deep talk with the team, what's the problem and everything. And yesterday loss is all on me. I take that blame on me. It's all my fault. I have to be honest.
Oof.
So
Wow.
yeah, so we have a talk, and then we say okay, just pick Ash and hold W and go into the building. Just take control of the map. That's it. We don't care if you're gonna die or not. Just take control of the map. That's it.
That's grouse. Dev?
Yeah, it was awesome to see. And sorry about the loss yesterday. I know we didn't get a chance to talk to you afterwards, but you guys really made up for it today. My question's a quick one. Do you always jump into library without droning and die straight away, or is that just a one-off thing?
Yeah. I mean, I think I get in too fast that round. I mean, we all have a drone for me to entry, but yeah, I think that's the round where's my W key stuck. And keep holding.
I won't hold it against you. You played phenomenally and you dropped more than 10 kills, so there's nothing to worry about for one round.
Yes, sir.
Now, Onigiri, one thing I was talking about a little bit was obviously you took a long break from the game, and so I'm guessing that every time you play, you're getting slightly better. How much longer do you think it will be until you reach, a similar comfort level to where you were before you stopped playing?
I don't know. It's been 3 months, and then I haven't touched Siege in 3 months, and I have a lot of things to improve. I can sense myself that my game sense, or basic things is missing, and I keep grinding rank and playing Siege like every single minute or second that I can, and I have to balance myself with study too. So, yeah, I don't know like when I need to stop grinding. So I'll keep improve myself because we have to make to the major.
Now, opening up the final question, and it probably just goes on the back of your final comment. How is the team feeling as a whole? We've just asked you three very individualized questions to you because it was a very interesting game from you, we'll say. But how is the team feeling as a whole? You say that major is still the absolute goal here. So what's it like inside the camp?
So yesterday or today, like yesterday we had,
Let's talk about today. Don't worry about yesterday. Just wipe that one off the card.
So today, I don't know. I have to talk to them after the interview, but
Yeah.
I think they are pretty happy. Even like they've said that Asuki didn't play today, and their coach have to step in.
Yeah.
But the result and everything that we talked about yesterday is improved and fixed.
Mhm.
So I think they might be happy, and somehow that I get in the building too fast, they might like score on me. But a win is a win. It's a BO1, and they
Yep.
play with that coach. I'm not complaining anything.
Sure.
GG is still rival and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries at all. Onigiri, final comments before we let you go, my friend?
Thank you, NoCap fan. I want to let you guide us again. I'll try my best to stay consistent and get back to my own like old performance for the stage, and we'll try our best for the major. And I hope you all have a good day, sir.
Onigiri, you're dropping double digits and then still saying that you're not playing properly is scary, but we will see you next week, mate.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
Take care, sir. Absolute legends. I want to, Onigiri is the kind of guy I just want to like run to the front of a building and open a door for him. I don't know why. Like if Onigiri was walking past me, I'm the first person at that building opening that door. He's never touching a handle while I'm around. That's all I'm saying. Look, a little bit of a strange interview there, Dev. I didn't expect the energy to be so low, but I mean, it makes perfect sense. They really, obviously, last night really rattled them. That was a game that I think maybe we had written off as more of a conversation in the other direction than it was about like NOCAP's issues necessarily.
Yeah, of course, Elevate played really well yesterday, and I don't want to hold it against NoCap. And I think that Onigiri is being pretty harsh when he says that he's absorbing all of the blame for the match yesterday. But they just have to focus on the positives and work on the negatives, right? And I'm sure that right now, with Onigiri going back and talking to the team, hopefully everyone's in high spirits. We had 3 players on 10 kills. That's a bloody phenomenal performance. Onigiri himself, like, immediately implemented the feedback that they had after yesterday, where they said they weren't playing aggressive enough, they weren't getting enough map control, so he wanted to step up. They said to him, like, doesn't matter if you die, at least take the map control, and he did that. Like, and he won more opening kills than he lost, and he got way more entry frags, and he did dying in the same role. So I think he should be extremely happy with his performance. Same for the whole team of NoCap. I just hope they're not too hard on themselves and don't put too much pressure on themselves about going to the major, because of course it's great to go to the major, but it's also great to have the attitude that Julio had in the interview with Bleed yesterday when he said, look, if we don't make this major, we'll make the next one. Like, we're just playing our game, we're getting better every day, and that's really what matters. You focus on the process and the results will come, because you focus on the results and you start forgetting how to actually go about the process.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it? Because I guess that's the luxury that you have when you're Julio, when you're Bleed of making so many of these international events. The pressure would probably be starting to really get to the likes of Fury and, I mean, obviously to NoCap. So, trying to bring themselves down a peg and just, I guess, recenter for the rest of this league, because they're playing unbelievably in some of these games. And I think today's been a very good example of what happens, guys, when they're firing on all cylinders and when they're back in the driving seat.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I can kind of understand Onigiri not wanting to get overly excited with the whole sub situation, etc. And it is a match that they're expected to win. You don't really get that many bonus marks for demolishing a team really at the end of the day, and it is just the best of one portion. But I think they can take away that at least they were able to bounce back from last night, and it was on the same map, which is probably the most important thing considering they got counter played pretty hard last night. So impressive from them. And noting DCH very briefly as well actually does officially walk away with the MVP, not on a gear. He hit that insane like 3-piece I think it was in the last round, which got him over the line. And again goes to show that every single player pretty much on the lineup had their moments this evening, which is a good positive going forward.
Certainly is, and they're going to have to tidy things up as well if they do want to head to the major, because obviously playoffs will be where the real discussion starts to turn. But speaking of discussions turning, let's go ahead and go to a break, get a little bit of a breather. We'll be back after this.